The first decision you are going to make is what's your plan for this artwork? If I'm going to put a mat on this, am I going to focus on the frame size that I want to put it in? Or am I just adding a mat to the surrounding and hanging it on the wall just with a mat? If it's just with a mat, you will be doing a slightly different problem solving. My demonstration today is going to be based on the frame size. So if I have this artwork here, I need to decide what size frame do I want to fit it into. Do I want to fit it into an 8 by 10 right here? Just almost fits on the screen here. If I do it on an 8 by 10, notice how much space, visual space, this is just a scrap sheet of paper cut to 8 by 10, how much space would be around the image if it was centered on there. All right. I could also go larger, and I could go 11 by 14, which is the next frame size up, kind of standard frame size. And then if I center it, I know it's not all on the screen, but if I kind of center it there, see how much mat space will be on all sides. That's a visual choice. It doesn't really matter. So you have to make that choice. For my demonstration purposes, I am going to do the 8 by 10 because it fits under the camera a little bit better and it looks good. Okay? So this would be my final product. I'm going to have my artwork. I'm going to create a mat. This is, again, just a scrap sheet of paper. And then I'm going to put it inside this frame. So I have this frame here, and the mat board's going to go inside of it, and then the artwork will be here. So that's my final goal, what I'm aiming for. Now, how do we problem solve how to get there? What we need to do is do the math first. So I'm looking here and asking myself, where's my final goal? My final goal is this frame size. If I'm going to do this frame size, I need to know what size that is. I'm going to put it in an 8-inch by 10-inch frame. The next thing that I need to figure out is the window opening size. So the window opening is where it gets a little bit tricky, where you have to think through what you're doing. I'm going to use this as my example. This is just a print out of an artwork. And we need to think about what size window this artwork is going to have. You're going to be measuring your artwork and figuring out what size it is. So this artwork is just about 3.5 by almost 4.5. Okay? If I make my window opening exactly the same size as the artwork and put it on here, what's going to happen is my artwork is going to come right through. We don't want that. We want to pin down the artwork with the mat board and have it cover up just a little bit. So this example here is showing that. So right here, it's correct. The opening is 1/2 inch smaller than the art. And so that way it's taking off a little bit on each side, kind of cropping it in, so you have to pay attention to that. But it won't fall through. It's pinned in there. And I'll flip this over to show you. So on the back side, we have all of our measurement lines. I'm going to flip this artwork over. It's just from a magazine. And you'll see that it's overlapping. You can see even these lines. It's overlapping by that much on each side. 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch would be fine. But that way it won't fall through. In contrast, we have this one flipped over. It's exactly the same size, and it falls right through. I'd pick it up, and it wouldn't go with it. So how do we do that? What's the math behind it? We're going to take this artwork right here, and we're going to measure the artwork and then make it a little bit smaller. So maybe I'll go down here where it's a little bit lighter. You can see that this is 5 inches, and I want to cover up, I need to overlap a little bit. This is a small artwork, Minimum to overlap is 1/8 of an inch, okay? That's cutting it close. If you have a large artwork, I would say go 1/4 of an inch. But if I went 1/4 of an inch on this artwork, I'd be covering up all the way up to my pear and then close to the other side. So I'm going to go with 1/8 of an inch right here. And so I'm just going to scoot this up and start my ruler. This is 0. And I'm going to start it by covering up about 1/8 of an inch. And over here I'm going to cover up about 1/8 of an inch. It's going to make my math a little bit more complicated, but that's okay. I can handle it. So this whole opening, which would be from about here to, let's see, 1/8 of an inch would be here. I'd read the ruler and say this is 4 inches. So I can even say 4 inches plus 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. So this is 4 5/8 inch by, going over here, I'm going to do the same thing, about 1/8 of an inch over. And then measuring, this is going to be 6 and 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, and 5/8 right here, which would cover up my artwork to about there. So again, whoops, 6 and 5/8. Put that in the wrong one. Okay, so my window opening size, 4 5/8 by 6 5/8. My mat border width is going to be my frame size. So this one will be 8 by 10. So that's the full size there. That's the information that I need to know. You just have to triple check that your window opening size is smaller than your actual artwork, because my artwork is 5 by 7. Okay, 4 5/8 by 6 5/8, slightly smaller. What we're going to figure out next is, what does this look like? How can we pre-visualize it? So I'm just going to get another scrap sheet of paper here, and I'm going to draw a larger rectangle, and my outside edge is going to be, the mat border is 8, so the larger rectangle is showing my mat size, 8 by 10, and then my inside shape here, and it does not have to be pretty, this is just scrap paper, is 4 5/8 by 6 5/8. All right? What we're trying to solve for is, what width is this border? So from here to here, and then here to here. If I'm centering it, they're both going to be, well, maybe this one will be Y. Sometimes they're different. On this one I think it's going to be the same, but I don't remember. So we're kind of solving for X and solving for Y. X is going to be the same size up here. Y will be the same size right here. Okay, so we have, let's figure out this Y first. So if we have the full length of 8, I'm going to just put it here, we are going to subtract 4 5/8 right here. So we're going to say minus 4 5/8. Okay, we can do our math. We can do this to 7 8/8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3/8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So this is 3 3/8. But we aren't done yet, because it's taking this measurement here minus that measurement, but we have to divide it into 2 sides of the border. So we do 3 3/8 divided by 2. Woo! Okay? That is stretching my math, so I go visual. 3 3/8. 1, 2, 3. All right? We know half of 3. Half of 3 is 1 1/2. So I'll even put a little X right here. 1 1/2. And then we have 3/8, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. We can see visually that it's 6/16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if it's 6/16, we know how to divide 6 into 2. So we would just go 3/16. 1, 2, 3. So 3 of these 16ths plus 3 more of those 16ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Dividing that in half is 3/16. So we would take our 1.5 plus 1, 2, 3/16 would be right here. So it would be 1 and, all right, all these 16ths, half of 16 is 8, so this would be 8/16, 9, 10, 11/16. So y would be 1 and 11/16. Sometimes this is not clean, easy math. So both of these are 1 and 11/16. Okay, so we check our math then. We go 4 and 5/8, so I can even go 4 and 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brings me to here, 4 and 5/8, plus 1 and 11/16. So I can just jump up to 1 plus that 16th, so I'm here, and then 11/16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm to here, plus another 1 and 11/16. So if it's 1 inch, I'm going to jump to 7 and here. So this is 1 more inch plus 11/16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Bam! This long line right here represents the 8. So 8 is my total, so I did my math correct. So you can see how I solved this visually by just adding on the ruler. If you like to do it mathematically, algebraically, and change them all to 16ths and do your addition, do it that way. Either way, it works for you for this process. So that's 8. And then, so this border and that border will be 1 and 11/16. Let's do the 10. Same process. 10 is the full length minus the window opening here. So it's going to be minus 6 and 5/8. Hit the same problem solving situation where we can make that 9 and 8/8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. 3/8 again. And this is 3. So guess what, folks? They're the same ratio. 3 and 3/8, 3 and 3/8. So x and y are going to be the same. So 1 and 11/16, 1 and 11/16. So my entire border is going to be 1 and 11/16. Okay, so this was actually just the mat width, not the border. The border is going to be 1 and 11/16. That is doing the matting mathematics. Notice here online that when they're selling ready-made mats, they have the 16 by 20 frame size. The artwork is 11 by 14, but their actual opening size is 10.5 by 13.5. They're taking 1/4 of an inch off each side. So remember, you can take off 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch, but no less than 1/8 of an inch.